Okay, so that's rather nice to have, isn't it? Nice little surprise. On the Moscow troops, the rockets, etc. I'm not going to get any more of those. They were a one-off. Here they are. We've already looked at these, haven't we? Firepower 6 is dismal against a firepower 27, you know, but no matter. Let's get them over to where the action is. Now, it looks like the action is going to be around here now, doesn't it? But he hasn't actually done anything, has he? He's not really attacked anywhere. He hasn't openly done anything. Why isn't he moving towards Courland or doing something? I really just don't know. He's left the initiative. He's declared war on me, but left the initiative entirely to myself. Why on earth would he have so many small armies all over the place like that? Is it because he hasn't got enough generals, so he's not putting them together with generals? I just don't quite understand why he's got such a large body of small units there. Now all three of those could fall if I attack those cleverly. They could all go. With an attack from these armies here, that could go as well, Danzig, so he could lose that entire area, and I would then end up defending this kind of area along here, which might be an easier area to defend, to be honest with you. Army there, you know, army in here. Might make a more natural defensive line. Whether I want that area or not is another matter. It's certainly not going to be a priority for me, so I think I'm going to move my better quality troops over to quite a long distance, I know, but I'm going to move them over to perhaps to Berlin. Let's hope they go a sensible way round. Let's have a look and see which route they've decided to take. Here we are. Yeah, it is a bit of a risky route, isn't it, through there, depending on what the enemy managed to do, but anyway, it's really nice to have those 20-pounder unicorns. Hey, I'm going to find myself in a position soon where I'm getting rid of unicorns in order to replace them with the better quality unicorns. Won't that be good? Yeah, because I can recruit 10-pounders as well with chevrons as well now from there. But anyhow, let's see what I'm going to get next time. Oof, look at that income, 1,267. Now that's because I'm paying for the ironclads, and that's because I'm paying for these rockets and these 20-pounders. They are expensive, like I said to you. I think they're about, what did I say, 246 upkeep cost each. So, oh, they're not quite as expensive. I thought they're about 800 and something. Maybe that's what they are to buy. But anyhow, I do now need to pay some attention to taking these trading hubs, and of course we know what he's going to do when we attack here. He's bound to retreat, isn't he, from those forward areas, and then what will happen is he'll be able to go all the way around me and attack my hub position here, and this is where it becomes a little risky until I've got my ironclads in place. Have I got some additional ships here? I think these are all just merchants. Merchants, and yeah, I've got a frigate, and then I've got lots of merchants again. You see, the problem is in this game, if I were to attack that hub there and put my merchants in place, he would send troops from this place, or the ones that had retreated, all the way round me, sail them all the way around me, and attack my hub. That tends to be the kind of thing that happens in this game, which is really quite unfair, I'm afraid. But I'm just going to have to hope and put my frigate with the merchant ships in order to defend them. I think it's going to be the only way to deal with that, I think. Okay, what I can't do is chase him, because I do know that if I leave those ships there and go chasing him when he's retreated from there, he will go in and take this trading hub, if nothing else, you know. So I am going to have to stay with them at least for a little while until I can attack him again, and of course it gives him a chance to build up his armies, doesn't it? Well, for now, I'm afraid Marseille is just too much of a temptation. I can't land there, because if I do land there, I'll damage the very port that I want to take. So I'm going to start by moving over to take Marseille. Okay, and it's not going to let me take those troops into there, is it? What's he got? He's only got militia in there, so I might be able to, if I play my cards right, I might just be able to attack there with my cavalry and keep my infantry in reserve. Will my infantry do that? My infantry might even just be able to reach. Might just be the artillery, you know, that can't reach. So I'll bring the artillery on in reserve and see if we can attack with that. Yes, we can. Okay. Well, I could attack this, bring on my artillery in reserve. I'm tempted to do so because, of course, it means that I'm going to build up some chevrons. And chevrons might be more important to me than men after this battle. So I'm going to do that. And if he attacks my my artillery afterwards, then so be it, and I'll just lose my artillery. But anyway, this is a battle that, yes, I am going to fight, and I am going to have to wait for my unicorns to arrive on the battlefield. Right, this is my army without any artillery, I'm afraid. So let's see what he's going to do. He's got, forget how many units, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're all armed citizenry, nothing special here. People are going to say to me, why on earth did you show a battle like that? And I wouldn't blame them, really. It's just that it's nice to have a bit of a break, I think, and show a battle for a change, you know, because there's been a lot of sort of sabotage movements, espionage and stuff going on, and I think it would just be nice to show something a little bit different. Hope you can hear me. I'm going in quite close here, so I am sacrificing the voice a bit in order to show this. These are my brave Russian line infantry, or musketeers as they called in here, with the cavalry following on behind. I've put them in two groups. I've got one group on the flank, as you can see over there, and I've got my main force coming across this way. I've got my Jaegers in the front, as you can see. They're in skirmish order, although I see little need to have them in skirmish order when we're fighting a force like this. I don't quite know why my general is rushing ahead of the main line. It is a formation that we're in here, and they should really follow that formation all the way through. The horse tend to be getting ahead of themselves slightly as well, which is a bit of a shame, really. To me, if you ask things to move in a formation, they ought really to remain in that formation. I suspect now that my general is going to cause his men to attack before perhaps I would normally like them to, but anyhow, never mind. The plan is, of course, that he will attack, or if he stands there, that's fine. We'll sort of fire straight down his line from these chaps over here. I've noticed that his men, although they're in a more open order than mine, they're also 4 ranks deep, so they've got a bit more strength in depth. Mine, because they're closer order, tend to find themselves in 3 ranks deep to match his formation. So I've tried to get myself into 4 ranks. They're not quite 4 ranks, but it gives me a little bit more, I hope, strength in depth there. If I just have a look over here now and see how my chaps are doing, just to see where the general's gone now. I hope he's found his final position, and no, he hasn't, has he? He's still there. Where is he now? He's still got quite a distance. Oh no, he's about to stop now, isn't he? And then the rest of the troops will take over, and that's good. So I'm hoping really to get the light troops to go slightly forward of the line and fire at him from a greater distance than the rest of the line, and play on this idea, of course, that that my own troops won't fire at my own Jaegers who are in front of the line. The idea will then be to move the Jaegers over to the right hand side. Ah, there's the artillery. Of course I left the artillery outside. Darn it. Now I remember. I wonder why I didn't have any artillery. And of course it's because it's there. Crikey, I'd forgotten completely that I even had any there for a moment. Goodness me. Right. Okay, let's get the artillery into position as well. Okay, I'll still stick by what I've done anyway, which is to, you know, sort of get my troops into a position where I can flank him. I think that has to be advantageous to me. It really depends, I suppose, on what he intends to do once I'm in position. If he just stands there, I think maybe we'll stand there as well and then see what happens after that. We're almost in a position to be able to start firing on him. I think... Oh, I've judged it. Look at that. Almost perfectly. Look at that. Goodness me, we're almost there. Well, I'm going to stand those troops there so that these have got a chance to get themselves into position so that we can hit them from both the front and from the flank. I would have put troops on the other flank as well, but unfortunately I didn't have enough troops in this main part of the army to sustain a melee attack from here. So I mean, we'd be able to fight him and beat him, but we'd lose more troops than I would expect to lose in that kind of an encounter. So the Jaegers are slightly ahead of the line, I would expect. Look at that. Do you know, I've judged that absolutely perfectly, so that we've just pinned them. So whatever they do, crikey, I'm absolutely amazed that I've been able to do that, so that we can pin them in position. I'm amazed. Normally the troops on the side here, by the way, the ones that I always have slightly back of my main line, no, not those, these here I should say, right, I've put them slightly off to the right as well this time, which means that they won't, or rather they're less likely to fire through my own troops. So I think being in position and him doing nothing at all at the moment should really be encouragement for me to perhaps bring up that artillery and get it into position, and then start hitting him, and then hopefully he'll come and charge me while my artillery are playing on his forward ranks, and then we can hit him from the flank there.